Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds and we're going to be talking about this palette from Jade Thirlwall and Beauty Bay. I was going to do 3 looks, 1 palette, but I didn't film all 3 looks. I just have 2 other looks that I'll put pictures of. So yeah, I'm going to give you my thoughts on this palette. If you're new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do 3 videos a week. Beauty, comic books, film, lots of stuff, so stick around and I'm going to give you my thoughts. So I want to briefly, before I give the little tutorial of the look I did today, I'm going to briefly mention some looks that I've done using this palette already. Oh boy. This is what the palette looks like. It is a very large 42, I believe, color palette. 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 42 color palette. So I'm going to give you my full thoughts, but I want to mention I've not used quite a few of these shades. I've only used a few. We're going to go ahead and mention the shades I have used and then talk about some of the color story, but I want to start off with the first looks that I did. Used the shade 2222, Sand Dancer, and Orion, which is Leanne's shade. It's named after the group Jade and Leanne were in before Little Mix. I did a blue look in which I used Northern Star, Celestial, Head in the Clouds, and then some of the purple shades. And then today you will see the look that I did, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that look now. Okay, oh my god, I'm going to put on some Milani eyeshadow primer. Using this palette, we're going to see if we can create, we should be able to create the lesbian pride flag. This is kind of my test for all palettes. I'm just trying to get my phone. So, you don't know, I'll pop a picture on the screen of what the flag, disgusting, what the flag looks like so that you have that. I did bring my color switch, perfect. We're in a new space, it's all switched up. I'm going to do one half on one eye and one half on the other, but I'm going to have white on both, so that's where we're going with that. So I'm going to start on the right eye, and I'm going to do the deep orangey red, which I think can be used with, I think Red Planet is going to be the closest shade to that. And yep, we're starting in the crease. I cannot see. Why are you not turning yourself on? Okay, so this is like a pure red, which I did not anticipate. That's okay. Space Jam might have been a better choice, but we've committed to this. See, reds come off honestly more pink because the pigment is really hard to make. So, also, I'm sorry if I'm not as zoomed in as I should be. I was really fussing with the camera. I'm going to add a little bit of Space Jam into this and see how that works. Yeah, that would have been better. We're gonna conceal a lot of this because I went a little crazy with this. And then I'm going to use a little bit of powder. It's not super powdery. I'm going to use Dawn, which is our pure orange. It's a fancy way to say orange. And put this, try to put it underneath, but they're blending together a little bit. I'm not going to go ahead and cut the crease because that's going to be too much. But I am going to use the shade Milky Way, which is the white. I think it has a bit of pink glitter in it, so we're going to try this. I don't know why I swatched it on my left hand. Yeah, it definitely has pink in it. I don't know why I did that. Oh, I can't get a nice... I'm going to do it right hand. It still looks white though. It's actually like a gradient, so it has 7 shades in it, which we kind of did with the other one. So it's just many shades of like purple. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some of these purple shades and see if we can get this to go on looking like the flag. But the problem is with this, that makes it harder, is I'm starting with the darker shade on the crease, and then the lighter shades don't blend out quite as well. You just can't see them very well. So with that being said, we do have the purple shades for the flag, so I'm going to use the shade Soulmate, and then I'm using the shade Daydreamer, then Ethereal. So boom, 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 those 3 purple shades. I tend to like to use pink when I do the lesbian flag, but it's actually not a bright pink, it's purple shades. Some of these shades you definitely have to build. Like a lot of the deeper shades are builders, which is fine as long as they end up showing up. Can I stop going all the way to my brow? I'm on lunch break right now, lying for food. I'm gonna stop there for this shade. Now I'm gonna use the shade Daydreamer on the same brush. I'm trying to clean it off. Color switch. It's a pastel purple. Now the shade Ethereal, which is the lightest purple in the palette. It's like a lavender, kind of blends into the other one. So I don't love the way that Soulmate looks on my lid, in my crease. I don't love it. Now I'm gonna take Milky Way on my left finger this time. So I look like I just have red and purple on my eyes. Don't love this look. So if your question is, can you make the lesbian flag with this? The answer is kind of. Don't use Red Planet. You can definitely get some orange and pink lesbian looks if you want to go that route, which sometimes I do, but if you're going to do the pure flag, the answer is you can get the purples. You could probably do it. I probably just made a wrong decision, but I would say to go with Space Jam and Dawn and maybe Natural Beauty. but don't go with Red Planet. That was my mistake. So I'll come back sometime later today to tell you my final thoughts on the palette. Now, I want to mention the spread. I don't love big palettes. I think the way that this palette is formed is a little random. It's easier to put it on this side. I know Jade said she likes a little bit of everything, and that's obvious, though there's no yellow in this palette, like a true yellow. This is more of a neon green. This is a neon green too, even though it looks much more yellow in the lighting. It is very much a bright green. Y'all, I'm struggling so hard. I'm getting a migraine. I'm trying to push through, and then I'm going to take my medicine for it. Oh boy, this is difficult. A lot of these shades just look similar on the eyes. So you have like these two purples here, Ethereal and Daydreamer. I could deal with maybe one. Some of these shimmers, I appreciate the shimmery light green, the shimmery white, although it has a pink reflect to it. This shimmery gold color, but I don't think this is necessary. I do like Jaded. I haven't used that yet though. There's just like Soulmate and Sunshine's Skin. They look similar to me. I don't think a lot of these shades are necessary. I mean, we have lots of orangey red tones in here, which I like those colors, but I just think you could have pared it down or made it even more of a rainbow palette. For those who do have, I mean, Jade has a deeper skin tone, but the three cream shades that are clearly for the brow bone would not work for lighter skin tones. So I think maybe should have had like one that did. And then maybe a few deeper options. Just the lightest isn't that light, and it's just shades that I'm not going to use. So that's a bummer. The way the palette itself is laid out makes it not as appealing to me. I will be honest with you guys, I bought this because of Jade's name on it. I am a hypocrite and will criticize people for buying stuff because a celebrity's name is on it, but I love Jade Thirlwall, so you knew I was going to buy this palette. Price-wise, this cost about $40 US. I think it was 40, might have been 40 pounds. So between $40 and $50 US. I think the palette itself looks really cool. It's going to be something that's really cool to show off in my collection on my little palette risers. So that's really cool. This is my first purchase from Beauty Bay, and I can say the quality is definitely there. So if you're looking for it for a good quality palette, yes. If you like the color story, yes. I think the shades work very well. I mentioned this in the video today. I think some of them definitely are builders. Any of like the neon shades, the light shades, the pastels, you're going to have to build those up. They're not going to come full color, but they do build, so that's good. There's a huge mirror, never something I really particularly care about, which I know a lot of people do, because if you're gonna take this gigantic palette on the go, you could, I guess, do it like this. Look how big this thing is. Appreciate that it's a square. I don't know, I don't like big palettes that are rectangular, so I appreciate that it's a square. It's pretty light, so it's not really going to take up a lot of room, and it is cardboard packaging, which for palettes is my favorite. It's not going to dent. The shades are pretty protected. They did come, no foil over the mirror, but it did come with a little plastic sheet. So shade names on it, looks really good. I'm not going to do swatches because, good lord. But I'm excited to use like the pinks. I like to use this as kind of more of a monochromatic palette, even though there's color like thrown up everywhere through this thing. So it's not my favorite palette I've ever had, but I like the colors that are in it. So that's kind of my thoughts on this palette. I'm going to go back to using the palettes that I love and use this from time to time as I do with any new palette that I get. But that's my thoughts on this. Sorry if they're overly negative. I love Jade, and I just never would have thought of her as a makeup person. Apparently she did makeup looks for the girls early on in their career. Would never have expected that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of one shadow looks in here. There's a lot of monochromatic looks in here. So if you like that and you like some sort of color but not quite a rainbow, this should be the palette for you. Take thumbnail. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I will see you hopefully on a migraine-free day in my next one. Bye!